Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Don't forget to click subscribe and like this video. The leaders of the US, UK and Australia have unveiled new details of their plan to create a fleet of next-generation nuclear-powered submarines. Under the Aukus agreement, Australia will first receive at least 3 nuclear-powered submarines from the US. The Allies will also work together to create a new fleet using cutting-edge technology, including reactors made by Rolls-Royce in the UK. The pact is aimed at countering China's influence in the Indo-Pacific region. Speaking with the other leaders in San Diego, California, U.S. President Joe Biden stressed that the boats would not have nuclear weapons and would not jeopardize Australia's commitment to being a nuclear-free country. Under the deal outlined on Monday, members of the Royal Australian Navy, RAN, will be embedded at US and UK submarine bases from this year to gain the necessary skills to use the submarines. From 2027, the US and UK will base a small number of nuclear subs at a RAN base in Perth, Western Australia, before Australia buys 3 American Virginia-class submarines in the early 2030s, with options to purchase 2 more. After that, the plan is to design and build an entirely new nuclear-powered submarine for the UK and Australian navies, called SS and Aukus. This attack craft will be built in Britain and Australia to a British design, but use technology from all 3 countries. President Biden said all 3 countries were committed to ensuring that the region would remain free and open. He was flanked by the Prime Ministers of Australia and the UK, Anthony Albanese and Rishi Sunak, respectively. Forging this new partnership, we're showing again how democracies can deliver our own security and prosperity. Not just for us but for the entire world, he said. As part of Monday's announcement, the U.S. has also pledged a total of $4.6 billion, £3.7 billion, over the next few years to build its submarine construction capacity and to improve maintenance of its Virginia-class submarines. Australia's Anthony Albanese said the submarine plan would create thousands of new jobs and marked the biggest single investment in Australia's defence capability in all of its history. This will be an Australian sovereign capability, commanded by the Royal Australian Navy and sustained by Australian workers in Australian shipyards with construction to begin this decade, said Mr. Albanese. He also noted that the agreement marks the first time in 65 years and only the second time in history that the U.S. has shared its nuclear propulsion technology. UK Prime Minister Sunak said that in the 18 months since the pact was unveiled, the challenges to global stability had only grown. Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine, China's growing assertiveness, the destabilizing behavior of Iran and North Korea, all threaten to create a world co-defined by danger, disorder and division. As part of his visit to the U.S., Mr. Sunak has also pledged to increase defense spending by nearly £5 billion, $6 billion, over the next 2 years to counter threats from hostile states. The pact has repeatedly drawn criticism from China. Beijing's foreign ministry spokesperson, Mao Ning, last week reiterated Beijing's position that the pact risked creating an arms race and undermines peace and stability in the Asia-Pacific region. We urge the United States, Britain and Australia to abandon the Cold War mentality and zero-sum game, faithfully fulfill their international obligations, and do more to contribute to regional peace and stability, he said. Touching on the concern about the West boosting its military presence in the Indo-Pacific, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan insisted that Washington had no intention of creating a new NATO-like alliance. While all 3 leaders have been keen to stress how the deal will strengthen their cooperation and contribute to global stability, it hasn't been without its political fallout. In 2021, Australia scrapped a multi-million-dollar submarine agreement with France in favor of the trilateral agreement, causing a political rift with Paris. The BBC's Phil Mercer, in Sydney, says the deal makes the Australian military more closely aligned with US and UK than ever before. Australia's government is hailing the deal's strategic importance as well as the fact that it will bring thousands of jobs. But the country faces some very delicate diplomacy going forward. Our correspondent adds, China is Australia's most important trading partner, and the question will be whether Australia can both strengthen its military ties with US while fostering greater commercial ties with Beijing. Aukus will cost Australia up to $368 bn, £201 bn, over the next 3 decades. The government says no decision has been made on a future East Coast submarine base, although Port Kembla near Wollongong, 100 kilometers, 62 miles, south of Sydney, is thought to be a likely location. A local official there said her community was worried by the possibility of a nuclear submarine base close by. It's causing alarm that it could make us a potential military target, Green Party councillor Kath Blakey told the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. I think it's a potential sovereign risk to Australia to be hitching ourselves to the US and the UK.